And here we are, my friends. Hello, it's me. I was wondering after all these years we could go over everything. But that would be Adele, not me. Hi guys, how you doing? It's your boy Dusty here on the fabulous West Coast. It's a little bit darker than usual because it's a little bit later than usual. But that's okay. It's State of Brony, my friends. After dark. Really. But you're not here for the after dark. No, you're not here for that. You're here because we finally cut through the red tape that was Hasbro, the red tape that was DHX, to get this gentleman here for you, live, on this very program. I'm so excited. I'm nervous. See that? Nervous. Shaken. Because Big Jim Miller himself is here.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Hello.
Sorry for the late start. I don't get off work till 6.
That's fine, because you're making wonderful cartoons that we all love to watch.
I hope so.
Quite all right. Quite all right. I love to watch them. Tons and tons and thousands of people love to watch them. So
that's good.
It is. So you go do your thing, because it's on top of doing that thing, you do the comedy.
Well, that's it. I should go right now.
No. That's fine. No. Stay. Have a muffin. You know. But yeah, you do comedy and comic books and storyboarding and all this other stuff. We're going to get into all this wonderful things that you do.
Cool.
And talk about it. But the first thing I got to ask you, which is the question that everybody gets asked who comes on the show. First question. What are some of the cartoons and comics you watched as a kid or are still watching to this day? I've so wanted to ask you this question.
Cartoons, of course, like Looney Tunes stuff. I love old Looney Tunes shorts. Anything that was done as sort of the cartoon before the feature at the old movie theaters, those are usually better. When they switched to TV stuff, some of them weren't as good.
Yeah.
Used to watch a lot of stuff like Scooby-Doo and Saturday Morning Junk, but a lot of that, now that I know how the sausage is made, I can't really watch it the same way.
Yeah.
Comic books, I love Batman. I've been reading... I read all sorts of stuff. Saga is fantastic. Southern Bastards is great. The Fade Out is fantastic. I don't know. You name it, I probably read it.
There you go. Because the man is all comics. We know that. We have a kinship. I've been collecting them since like the late 80s myself.
Same here.
So, yeah, I still have Spawn 1 through 30.
I think I might have those.
I think, they're worth about...
Everybody does.
Yeah, they're worth about a plug nickel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're worth. And Rob Liefeld, ugh, let's not talk about early Rob Liefeld, okay?
Yeah, I was young enough when that came out to think it was pretty cool at the time, but I've seen the error of my ways.
Yes, the guy who couldn't draw ankles to save his life. Yeah. But there you go. Are we nerding too much on comics for you guys? Because you don't even know who these people are. I'm sure. We're just going to sit here and talk about comics all night, so you can go, no. We're going to go ahead. Okay, well, go ahead. Shh, stop yelling at me. Of course. Okay, well, go ahead. Yeesh. God. Some of these guys these days. Okay, getting right into the comic side of things, okay. We're going to talk about Power Ponies.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Power Ponies real quick. So, because again, with me, it was one of my favorite episodes. And yeah. Was there a comic book hero's powers that you didn't get to make a nod to that you really, really wanted to do?
Well, I always love the old Super Friends Aquaman sonar, like calling the animal stuff. We never really, it didn't really fit with anything.
Right.
That would have been kind of funny. Or even like a Nightcrawler teleportation thing, but we already do that with Twilight, so it wouldn't have been that special. But
I could sort of, I would have loved to seen, like, maybe Wonder Twins powers activate.
Oh yeah,
you could have done that with like the Cutie Mark Crusaders, have all three of them wear power rings or something.
Yeah, or get someone in there to be a Gleek.
There you go. You'd have Apple Bloom and Sweetie Belle be the Wonder Twins and Scootaloo be Gleek. And she wouldn't be a chicken anymore. There you
That's
go.
true.
She'd be a purple monkey. And of course, none of these kids know exactly who we're talking about.
No,
not at all.
That's fine.
Go watch Super Friends, because it was awesome. It's on YouTube, I swear to God. Appaloosa's Most Wanted.
Yes,
Appaloosa's Most Wanted. Troubleshoes.
Yeah.
You got the second shot at voicing a character after, of course, King Sombra. He seemed to remind me a lot of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh or Snuffleupagus from Sesame Street. Back when we were kids. Were these sort of a nod to those characters, or did you pull him from somewhere else?
A little bit. I also threw in a bit of, I don't know how many people are familiar with that Billy Bob Thornton movie, Sling Blade.
Yeah.
There's a bit of Carl Childers in there from that, too. But, the type of character Troubleshoes was, it sort of lent itself to that kind of Eeyore-esque, depressed guy voice, anyway.
Right. Was it? I know. Normally, you guys would get outside voices to do this. It was just you couldn't find anybody at the time to do this
what it
particular
was
voice?
is when we were starting season 5, when we were having design breakdowns, where we go through the script and just sort of talk about what the new designs we're going to need for an episode. We used to, when we had time, we'd do a read-through in the room with the design crew, and we would sort of cast in the room and just be like, okay, Rebecca, you're going to be Twilight today, and Cora's going to be Pinkie Pie, and whatever. And just by luck of the draw, I ended up getting Troubleshoes, and I just did this silly voice, and people were laughing, and we thought it was funny. And I jokingly said, like, oh, I should do this voice. And then Jason said, well, you should audition for it.
There you go.
So I went down, and never thinking that anything would come out of it, because it seems a little bit self-serving. Jason was directing that episode, so I did an audition with Adam, our sound engineer, and just threw it in the mix without my name on it, so Jason couldn't
figure out who it was.
Figure it out, and he had 3 or 4 that he really liked, and he couldn't choose between. So he took them home and played them for his wife Jocelyn, and she picked mine because she thought it was the funniest. So
there you go.
That's how I got it. Hopefully, as unbiased as a choice as possible.
Well, that's cool because you're doing stage comedy, right?
I was.
You were.
Have so busy on season 5 and 6 that I have sort of had to stop doing that.
Yeah, but you have experience doing stage comedy, so
yes.
There you go. So it's not like you're just throwing yourself out there and going, oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just doing a voice. You actually are an actor. So.
Yeah, but it's also very different. Like we do make jokes on the other side of the glass all the time, and it seems really, really easy. Right. But you get in there and you stand in front of that microphone, and you realize, holy heck, this is a lot harder than it looks, because you can hear your voice in your headphones, and everyone's looking at you, and it just becomes so real in that moment. Made me appreciate how incredibly talented our voice cast is, and how adept they are at rolling with the weird and dumb things we ask them to do.
Heck yeah. Princess Spike. Princess Spike comes along, and you and Jason are actually listed as story, with another writer writing whatever. How does that work?
Basically, in the early stages of season 5, Jason and I just had a couple ideas for episodes, and we wrote very, very short treatments for some of those. That one, I think, Party Pooped and do Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep. And we just had sort of these basic ideas, and then we had more, obviously, and Megan and Mitch went through and sort of picked out a couple that they thought maybe had some potential, and they were broken by the rest of the writers and sort of expanded on by the actual episode writers. So we basically just came up with the general premise of the episode. Like for Princesses, I wanted to tell a story about Luna dealing with her guilt, and then I was looking up all these. I wanted to go back and have some sort of mythical creature in an episode again, because I really love those. And I found some stuff on the Baku, which is a Japanese folklore monster, dream monster, and it sounded really cool. And it just sort of, this idea that she had to face something that was the manifestation of her own guilt seemed interesting. But all the details in the story were fleshed out by Scott.
So you guys basically did the screenwriting and then gave it over to a writer, and they
not even a screenwriting. Honestly, we came up with
one page.
Yeah, really short. Like they go into the dream and they have, like it was so bare bones. Yeah. The fact that we got story credit is probably pushing it.
Speaking of that, going into my next question, this was listed again on Do Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep, which is one of my favorite Luna episodes now.
I will say I did come up with that title because I'm a huge nerd.
Yes,
so
we are huge nerds. And the moral being one to forgive yourself, being a very strong moral. And of course, we just talked about that. The Tanibus, where did it come from? It came from Japanese mythology, right? Can you expand on that just a little bit?
In terms of like
what that character is again from Japanese mythology?
Well, it's a Baku, B-A-K-U. Okay. It was a creature that sort of inhabits and feeds off of dream energy, as far as I understood it. I think the extent of my research was reading a few Wikipedia entries, just because I looked up I think like folklore dreams, Google searched some stuff, and then we found that, and it seemed really interesting, and then. Because it has some ties to actual religious beliefs, they decided to not use the name Baku because you don't want to offend anybody if we do it wrong. Yeah. So Jason and I were looking up dream and nightmare and translating stuff into Latin, and it always just sounds cooler in Latin. And
everything sounds cooler in Latin.
So we sort of made up this word Tantibus with a Latin root, so that's where that all came from.
I was wondering where the Tantibus word came from. I never thought that it was actually a real word. So
I think it's a forgive the language, a bit of a bastardized version of some Latin.
Okay, we'll ask Full Papers next time we see him. Hey Foley, click in here. What does Tantibus mean in Latin, please? I'm sure you can figure it out.
I think it's a variation on the word for nightmare.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that's cool. And of course, we go all the way before you got this director thing going on, right? You were just you're brought on as a storyboard guy.
Yeah.
In season 1, 2, right?
Season 1, I came on essentially to fill in a hole.
Right.
Someone had to drop out for whatever reason, and I did. Each board is split between 2 artists. I did half of Cutie Mark Chronicles, and then because I needed work, I sort of headed up all the revisions to the rest of season 1. And because I'd had at that point like 12 years of boarding experience, they asked me to be the storyboard supervisor for seasons 2 and forward.
But yeah, and that's awesome, really, because But and you just answered the rest of my question, which was your first board, which is, of course, Cutie Mark Chronicles. It's like, there you go. You're answering all my questions. Are you reading my mind? You're reading my mind, aren't you?
Can you read my mind?
Yes. God. What am I going to do now? Oh, okay, we go forward. Tell us a bit. Everybody who's been on Ed, and Eddy before.
Yes.
Okay, has told us a bit about Ed, and Eddy. Tell us a bit about your time at Ed and Eddy. Maybe a funny story with Danny or any of the things that might have happened.
Well, a lot of the things are really inappropriate for a PG
That's true.
show.
How about a non-PG thing? Just keep it kind of clean.
Okay, that's tough. We yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's not maybe bad.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to put you in the spot that way.
No, it's okay. We had lots of fun. I love those guys so much. Everyone I worked with, I'm still fairly close with. It's our weird dysfunctional family, and they're all wonderful guys. I've been to so many weddings of those fellas now, and I don't know. It really was a very special time at that place, and it's hard to sort of put into words in a way that people would understand. So
yeah, okay, we'll let that one fly. The comedy we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Now we said you're not doing it anymore, but tell us a bit about what it's like to stand up there on stage with 2 or 3 people or a group and just trying to make people laugh. I mean, tell us a bit about how you go through the mental process to basically get out there and lay it bare.
Well, really, it ends up being a thing of like, you've already agreed to do it, so you better just do it. You've already invited people to come to this show. You've been working on this stuff, practicing with your group. And then it's improv stuff, so a lot of it is trusting that the people who are doing it with you have your back if you freeze up, and will cover for you. And that's kind of the nice thing about that is it's very similar to working in animation in that regard, that we're all working towards a common goal, which in that case is trying to make people laugh, and in the case of the show is we're trying to make a good show. And knowing that if you drop the ball, that someone else is going to pick it up and carry it over the goal line is makes you feel pretty safe, and it helps you trust the people around you, and that's all really kind of cool.
Yeah, it is actually. I took a couple of classes, and it's really cool to try and trust somebody to pick you up if you just freeze.
Yeah, and it's hard if you're not normally a trusting person.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. It'll help you come out to be a trusting person, that's for sure. Because when I first started my class, it was like, I don't know any of these people, I don't know what they're going to do. And then by the end of the class, I was just throwing anything, hardballs at people, and they were just picking it up. It was crazy. Next, my new favorite. Of course, they're all favorites, but my new favorite Rainbow Dash episode. Tanks for the memories.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys handled that 5 stages of grief thing like super. Super.
Well, I think a lot of credit goes to Amy on the writing on that one.
Yeah, but the way you guys actually took her story and made it work was really cool. How do I want to put this? Does it make you nervous when you get like this sort of like very hard-edged story and then have to put that into a kids show, right? And
no, I try not to worry about it. Like there's so many external reasons to not do something. My job is to try and take these stories and make them to the best of our ability. And I honestly like the challenge. And sometimes we succeed very well, and sometimes we don't. But it's not for lack of trying. And I definitely think there's something to be said for trying to tackle a subject like that on a kids show, and make it understandable and palatable, and for a younger audience.
Oh, absolutely.
The target audience. I mean, a lot of people wish we could have just gone there and done a death episode.
Yeah,
and
you can't.
No. Well, I don't think it's really what the show is supposed to do. And as much as that would have been powerful, and I think we could have done a show like that, I almost like this better. in a weird way. I always think back to the John K. Ren and Stimpy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there was so much stuff in that first run that was clever and subversive
That's it. Oh.
because they were trying to subvert
Yeah.
the restrictions that were placed on them. And then when he came back with Ren and Stimpy's adult cartoon party,
Right.
and there's less
Yeah.
restrictions, to me, it wasn't as funny or clever.
No,
it was just like, okay, this is the situation, and it's...
I didn't like the Stimpy's cartoon party. It was just gross. It was
Yeah,
just gross for
and-
being gross.
And sure, that works for some people, and
Yeah.
some shows do really, really well with that, but what didn't work for me?
No.
So.
I loved the first. I had Ren and Stimpy pencil tests on a VHS tape somewhere in
Yeah.
the house. You know, it's like, that's how much I loved Ren and Stimpy in the first run. But yeah, it's and you know what, Jim, we better see we better see Tank again.
You did. You saw him in the rest of the season.
I don't remember him coming.
He's in Princesses. He's getting scrubbed down with
right.
everybody
He is in
else.
Princesses. Okay, my bad.
Yep, he's fine.
But, okay, my bad. He's fine. He's fine.
Just like we did see Owlicious later in
We
the
did.
season as well. So
Yes.
he was fine after the end of season 4.
Yes, he was. So, yes, but I was wondering if you guys would do a Tank come like crawling out of the snow thing in the spring. But I guess we don't need that. It's already done.
It'd be nice, but I don't know that there's as much story there. Like if we did shorts, like little 2 or 3 minute things, that might be a perfect kind of short. But
Yeah,
I don't
sort
know
of like
that
what they
there's...
did with the Equestria Girls movies.
Right,
They
that'd
did these
be
little
fun.
short things, right?
Exactly.
Which were, they added on to the movie, but they weren't part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be kind of cool if they made these little 3-minute shorts that would like maybe go up on Hasbro's YouTube channel.
Right, and that's just
Yeah.
they should just be jokes and
Yeah.
or situations, right?
Something like that. Hasbro, I'm talking to you. Okay, sorry. Never to rest on the laurels of the team, you guys come up with the main attraction using Lena Hall. That, oh my god, just amazing show, amazing episode, and the little nod to Prince there was cool. I mean, as soon as his mustache was, that's Prince.
Yeah,
That's
that was our Charmaine, our character designer,
Yes.
and I enjoy Prince. I definitely was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
And then Jason knew just where to put him, and he's only on for one scene, so
Yeah, he's not even there for like 3 seconds.
no.
He's there for a split second, and his horn shoots the laser to her throat to give her the
auto-tuning.
auto-tune,
Yep.
which is crazy awesome. And Daniel Ingram's song writing for that episode.
The songs in that, I mean,
I
every
want full
year I
songs.
sort of figure like Daniel's getting so busy, he's just gonna
Yeah,
gonna give us a whiff on one of them, and he never does.
does.
Like every year, he just tops it and tops it and tops it, and I like that he's starting to play with genres a little bit more and give us some different stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, when this episode was over, I was sort of twittering back and forth with Lena Hall, and she wants to do an entire album. She wants to do an entire My Little Pony album with that character.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Wouldn't that be neat?
It would be. I
that
mean,
would be
she's
awesome.
she's such a fan of the show, and couldn't be nicer. And that's those. I mean, like, you know, over the years, people have asked for certain guest stars, but it's so much more rewarding for us when we get to work with people who are already fans of the show and really want to be a part of it, and not just because of their name.
Right.
And she was the perfect example of that.
Oh yeah, it's like a year ago. You're seeing her on her Twitter just vibrating that she just done this, and it's like.
And I think it was Megan who reached out to her initially, and they wrote that episode specifically with her in mind.
Yeah, that again, it's a really great use of, you know, the assets that you can get to tell a really great story.
Yeah,
and just you guys knocked that one out of the park again.
thank you.
In the season finale. So
Fresh in everyone's mind.
a lot of things are happening.
Oh, yeah.
Time bandits to all kinds of stuff. Nightmare Moon comes back.
Yep.
But it's basically science fiction butterfly effect.
Of course.
You know, through the whole thing. And if you kids don't understand that, go look it up.
Don't watch the movie though.
Yes, go watch the movie. Where
Don't watch the movie. The
a
movie's
butterfly
not good.
flaps its wings in Tokyo, and we get earthquakes over here in California.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. How much fun was it to come up with those scenarios for when each bad guy won? You know, what's going to happen when each bad guy wins?
Josh wrote that all out, and initially, Jason and I were pretty nervous about it because each timeline required a crap ton of new designs.
Oh yeah,
and that means a crap ton of new builds and more opportunities for the animation to get wonky or not come out the way we wanted. Just the scope of it was very
huge.
Yeah. And it made us kind of nervous. I think at one point there were even more alternate timelines, and we just had to say, like, okay, these are all cool, but we can only do X number of them realistic.
There's only 44 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he's always really great about, you know, pulling back on stuff. But once we got into it, it was pretty cool. And, you know, we had talked with Rebecca and Cora and Charmaine for the design stuff, and talking about, like, you know, Sombra's army having armor, and then when they go back and work on it and they bring us this amazing design of these crazy stormtrooper helmets, and I mean, how did Jason and I say no to this? It just looked so cool.
Who came up with Rainbow Dash with the bionic wing? Oh my God!
That was probably a group.
That design was bad flank awesome.
Cora or Charmaine probably did the actual design, but I seem to remember being in the room and having discussions about giving her a scar. And
she got a bitten off ear, and the wing is gone. And
then we sort of, I think one of us, may have been Jason or me or even Rebecca, jokingly said, like, oh, she should have a prosthetic wing. And then we're like, yeah, let's see if we can do it. A lot of the stuff is, let's see if we can do it. And if Hasbro says no, we'll pull it out, but we're going to try it.
Yeah, that design, her and the Pie sisters, Pinkie and Maud, in that one scene, that was
all the armor for both sides, like, it just looks so cool. I can't wait to see some cosplays of
the new Wonderbolts, you know, flying helmets with
the Top Gun helmets.
The Top Gun stuff. Oh, my goodness. There's a ton of new stuff. I am so, yeah.
Yeah, and we know that, you know, that's gonna. Yeah. We're gonna see lots of fan art and stuff, and that always is kind of exciting to be like, oh, this is really cool.
How tempting was it to put Nightmare Rarity in there as well?
Well, we're not as up on the comics as we would like to be.
That was a joke.
Oh, that's fine. Also, no room in the story for her.
Yeah, I know, but Nightmare Rarity is awesome.
Yeah.
And then in part 2, of course, Starlight Glimmer's past comes to light, and we have to figure out that she's really just twisted from youth.
Right.
Something happens in her youth, and it twists her for the entire till she gets to this point.
Right.
Do you wish that you guys could have had like another 22 minutes just to flesh that out? Because it seemed
sure. I mean, having more time is always a benefit, but I think, you know, I've seen some criticism about that being rushed or whatever, and I think that's, you know, for those people that's a valid criticism. But I do think that there's a lot of stuff that we all have those moments in our lives where this one little thing happens and it snowballs into a much bigger event for us, and I do think too that, you know, the people said that her redemption was rushed as well, but you got to remember that she did see the effect that her choices would have on the future, that it could definitely affect the future in a very negative way. And I think for all her sort of evil ways with her village and everything, she didn't hate her town's ponies.
No.
She was just misguided. And don't forget, just because the season's over doesn't mean her story's over.
That's true.
So
she's sort of part of Ponyville now, right? Because she's there.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, because she's going to be Twilight's student.
Right.
Friendship.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Good at it?
Is she going to be good at it? Is she going to stay in town? Is she going to live at the old town with the other background characters that have taken her, you know?
Yeah, you'll have to see when that comes out.
We'll have to see what's going on.
Who knows? I know. I'm not going to say anything.
You say I can't even ask you. I can't even ask you. And,
You can ask
and
me,
we're
and I
friends,
can
but I can't even ask you.
You can ask me. I can't tell you.
I know, but I'm your friend, so I won't ask you, so I don't put you in that spot.
Thank you.
There you go. And one last question. Was there anything left out of the two-part final that you really wish you could have squeezed in there? One of the timelines, material you felt that would have been really cool that you guys didn't get to do?
No. I mean, the things for these episodes are planned so meticulously.
Mm-hmm.
I think people have this impression that we plan out and board all this stuff that doesn't get used.
Uh-huh.
We can't. We just don't
there's
have
no
the
time.
luxury of that. So if oftentimes when we get a script, Jason and I can tell it's too long at the script stage, and we'll cut a few lines or a little sequence here and there that may be not as important to the overall story, and not even have it drawn, just to save the board artist time, because it's a real time-consuming, and it's a kick in the gut for the artists when they spend all this time and effort working on something, and we just throw it in the trash. Yeah. So, we try to be very conscientious about not doing work we aren't going to use or aren't 100% sure of.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anything that gets cut is like
cut before the artist pencil goes to the...
Well, I mean, obviously we cut a few things here and there, but they're not like sequences. It'll be a scene or like a close-up or a part of a line or some extra frames of just a character standing there or whatever. Like, it's nothing crazy that it's not like a feature film production where we have a bunch of concept stuff that we've been working on for a year.
Yeah, cool. Sweet. So with that, we're done with the questions to start with. Now we're going to go into convention season is coming up, so we're going to talk about some of those conventions.
Sure.
Really quick. Of course, first one coming up next year, new one, Pacific PonyCon, San Diego, California, January 8th, 10th. Guests, Rena, I never say her name right. Anakwi, I believe. Anakwi. Sapphire Shores will be there, her very first convention.
Oh, she's great.
Yes.
People love meeting her.
Yes. Andrea Libman, she's been on a show. She was here just a month ago.
Yeah,
Andrea Libman, No Whacking, Ellie Monty, and I Love Compossible a lot. AC Rispist and Saber Spark were just announced. Mummified from Your OC Sucks podcast will be there. He's a cool guy. Check him out. It's held at this really cool Kona Kai hotel, and it's got a private beach, boat rentals, free Wi-Fi, all that stuff. It's going to be really great. Rooms are $139 a night. Use the code 1119SDC at check-in, and you get the $139 a night there. PacificPonyCon.com for all the details. And then, of course, PonyCon NYC coming up February 13th, 15th, Brooklyn, New York. Guests, oh my God. The East Coasters, you get Lauren Faust and Bonnie Zachary. Yes, you do. Andrew Francis, Vincent Tong, Peter New, Shannon Chan, Kent, GM Barrow, Kazumi Evans, Tony Fleece, Andy Price, Jaded Jinx, and Denny Butt from the artist side. It's going to be awesome. Music, Tetsuo the Robot's going to be there. Your Enigma's going to be there. Shake Up Some Ponyville are going to play. It's going to be great. Registration has many, many, many options over there. You can go. They're going to have this really great 3-course meal. Bonnie and Lauren are going to do a speech. You want to get on that, go over to their website, check it out. That's a little added extra on, but I think it's going to be worth it.
Sounds cool.
Absolutely. And of course, BabsCon. BabsCon's coming up April 22nd to 24th, and that's going to be in Burlingame. They're in San Francisco. Lauren Faust, John Delancey, Nicole Oliver, Josh Haber, who just wrote your beautiful season 5 finale.
He's a good dude.
Yes, he is. He's been here. It's going to be awesome. Andy Price. Andy Price will be there. That's so far, but you know for a fact that's not going to be all of it. They're still working. Vendors, artist panels, events, and concert applications are all open. Go in if you want to be part of the show, you want to run a panel, you want to be getting the artist alley, you want to be a vendor, go over there and check it out. Of course, babscon.com. Sponsor level badges are dwindling very fast, of course, because Lauren's going to be there and John's going to be there. So go and check those out.
I got to do that con a couple years ago. It's super fun.
It is super fun. It was super fun to have you here. It was great. And of course, getting further into May, Everfree Northwest, which is one of our favorite cons up there in Seattle, May 13th to 15th, will be at Chantel Strand, her very first convention, Diamond Tiara, is going to be there with Shannon Chan Kent, who plays Silver Spoon. So they'll be there together. It's going to be awesome. Bump, rumps, baby. Trevor Duvall will be back. His very first convention since the con that shall not be named. So he's back. And, of course, he just did Rocket Raccoon for Marvel on top of all your favorite ponies. GM Barrow, Michelle Creever, Black Griffin, Peter New will all be there. I will probably be there myself also. I hardly ever miss that show. I've never missed that show. So, great show. Reg is open. Awesome new tiers. Vendor apps are open too. So go over there to their website and check in on all of that. That is all the locals that are going on here in the United States that I know of. If you have a convention that you want me to talk about, send your information to dusty@manlysbrony.com and we'll pop it in there so everyone can figure out what's going on with your convention. Charity time. Charity time. So we're going to talk to Pixel Kitties Charity, which was Animal Friends Inc. We came through with that one. 580 bits with Care to Win kick in. That makes 680 bits for the animals. Woot, woot, woot. Awesome. Thank you very much, everybody out there. Giveaways are, we got some really great stuff this time. So we got this giant Rainbow Dash wall sticker that Care to Win found. I have no idea where he found this. I hate giving it away because it's Rainbow Dash. But you're going to get that. Then we also got these wonderful Twilight Sparkle Secret Ship Fic folder cards. Mine, the ones from BabsCon last year, and of course the Blazing Hot Wildfire. These are getting rare because, of course, they shut down their production. And I also have a Luna card foil from the Interplay card game. So I got those for you. I have this beautiful 3-pack with Daring Do, which is getting a little rare because this came out like a year ago. So I've got an extra one of those. That'll go to you. And I've got this wonderful box, the collectible card game from Interplay, which is Celestial Solstice. So I got that. And you know why I'm going to give you this from me? Because Pixel Kitties is going to give you guys some stuff. Yes, because we broke $500. We have this picture, which is going to be signed by Andrea Libman and Tabitha St. Germain. This is, of course, Luna and Fluttershy taking the doggies for a walk. Cerebus and Winona. So she's going to get that signed, and it's going to go to you. But not only that, but this beautiful game mat for that game right there, which I just gave to you. So this mat here, which is Dr. Hooves and Sweetie Bot, and of course our beautiful muffins, will be there. This is a last one. This was given out at BronyCon only. This is the last one. And it will be signed by Mr. Peter New. So we got all of that. And for that, I have a fez full of names. Why? Because fezzes are cool. Fez full of names. What? Yes. You know what? The beautiful, the lovely Miss Amy is here. So she's going to come over here and draw the name. So, draw the name, baby. Right there. Draw. Shake it up. There we go. Which one? Which one? That one. Not the ones on the ground. That one. Stevie Gatsuo, very good old friend of mine. Stevie, you win, my buddy. So you need to get me your mailing address down in there in the LA area. And I will get you all of this stuff. Because I don't know where you live nowadays. We haven't talked to each other in a bit. But, yeah, Stevie wins this time. Stevie Gatsuo. So all that will go to you. Now I'm going to get all these out of here so I can put my fez on. Because fezzes are cool. Oh, we're going to talk about Biggie Jimmy's charity, which of course Children's Arts Umbrella, which is up there in Vancouver.
Yeah,
absolutely. Tell us a bit about it, Mr. Jim.
Well, your show's done a lot of great charity work, and you've covered a lot of awesome stuff for animals and for causes that really need help. And I was trying to think of something a little different and maybe a little bit more personal to people.
Yeah.
Here, Arts Umbrella is a program in Vancouver that helps to supply arts programs for kids, and especially for kids in low-income families so they can go and take a class and learn how to paint or draw or sculpt. And since drawing is such an absolutely huge part of my life and a lot of the people that I love and care about, I thought this would be a really great cause to help, and it's a local thing for me, and it's for kids, and that's super important to me as well.
Yes, and we do love doing stuff for kids. My parents hadn't gotten me a drawing table when I was very young. I might not be here today It's the butterfly effect. If I had not gotten into art when I was very young, I wouldn't have gotten into comic books. I would not have gone to a comic book store. I would not have seen the advertisement for a comic book convention in California. I would not have driven my truck 26 straight hours to Long Beach, meeting all the people that I met to get me to where I am today.
There you go.
Butterfly effect. So, all these kids getting pencils in their hands, drawing really great stuff like ponies or comic books, could become the next Rob Liefeld. You never know.
Well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not. Yeah, let's hope
we
not.
get more Jack Kirby's.
More Jack Kirby's and
Steve Ditko's.
Yeah, and Steve Ditko's, but yeah. So, for that, if you go over to manlysbrony.com and click on the link, then go over and give us some bits, then you will be in a drawing for this awesome stuff I got down here. And so I've got another set of Twilight Sparkle Secret Chip Folder cards. Okay, mine, FabsCon, and my very, very last, Blazing Hot Wildfire I have, the last one. And I don't even think that Sipsy's got any more of these. So, last one. So those. I have this wonderful Target exclusive Maniac, like the one I have back there, who has the hot gun pointed at our intrepid heroes. I don't know how that's going to play out back there, but yes, you get one like this. So that will also go to you. I also have not one, not two, not three, but I've got four comic books here. And these are kind of cool, because these are the Hot Topic covers done by Tony Fleece, which actually bud up and become pictures. See that? So there's three or four of the villains, and two more of these actually make a 4 comic book thing, which I have to find number 3, because these are the latest issues right here. I have also got this set, which came out. This is 31 and 30, which all become good versus evil, with the Friendship Castle in the center. Tony Fleece is awesome. I mean, geez,
he's a nice dude too. You should go see him at
cons. Wonderful person, been on the show. But yeah, these 4 comic books will go to you. And not only that, just because I've got it, you'll get a Darth Vader Pez. Darth Vader Pez.
Ooh. That's going to be topical in a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, topical right there, baby. So you'll get all of that stuff right there. But if we crack 500 bits, Big Jim's got this awesome thing he's going to do for you. Awesome thing. Tell me about it.
Well, if we get over 500, whoever wins, they can send me an email of the types of stories they like to read, and I will find you a comic book that I think you would enjoy. So I'll take those ideas that say you like Star Wars and fantasy and stuff. I'll go and buy you a copy of the first volume of Saga, or you like film noir and Cthulhu stuff. I'll go buy you Velvet Volume 1. So you tell me what you like. I will go and buy you a trade that I think suits your interests. And I'll even throw in a copy of Uncanny X-Men, Essential Uncanny X-Men Volume 2 that I have. It's out of print. It's a lot of awesome John Byrne, Chris Claremont stuff from the 80s. It even features an appearance by late Premier Pierre Trudeau, or Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, his son, who is now our new Prime Minister.
Nice.
So I'll throw that in there for folks too. And if we get even more, then I'll come up with something even better.
Absolutely. So if we get this thing going and we crack 5, you get that. If we crack, like, say, 750, I'll talk to him and we'll come up with something else.
Yeah, if we get to 1,000,
Get to 1,000, ooh.
We'll figure out something really great.
Well, yeah, maybe he'll draw your OC. Who knows? We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But we got to make some money. So it's the giving season. These kids need art presents, right? So if you want to give to the kids, they get art stuff. We get happy. You get stuff. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, like I know it's Christmas time. People are maybe strapped for cash, but like $1 or $2,
$5,
that still
10.
throws you in the draw, right?
It doesn't have to be huge numbers, people.
Oh.
You know, all those lattes you have at Starbucks, you don't need like one.
You know, go reach in your couch and see what's in the cushions there.
You know what was in my couch cushion? A peso.
What was that?
A peso.
A peso.
Because Brony Chef was here right after BabsCon last year. And
Yeah.
I was cleaning up and I found a peso. Brony ship. You left me a peso, dude. What kind of tip is that?
That's not a very good one.
That's not a very good tip, dude. I know. God, them chefs. I love you. I love you, dude. You're my boy. So, yeah, so that's it. So go over there, give a couple of bits to us, and you get in the chance for all of this wonderful, great stuff. Thank you very much, everybody, for your help. We continue to do good work because of you. Thank you. With that, we go on to finding Screwball.
Is there somewhere?
Yo.
I'm always around, just
what?
listening in closely.
Listening closely, because he's my boy. That's what he does.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
When he's
How
not
you
playing
guys?
Fallout 4.
Yeah.
Losing his laser turrets.
Oh, don't remind me of that. That was horrible. Horrible experience.
Horrible.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've been playing that a lot, and with those Steam sales that happened, I got a bunch of other games. So yeah, fun.
So what's up, my boy?
Not too much. How are you guys doing?
We're doing awesome. We
We're
need
good.
some questions from you, my friend.
I'm not gonna lie. This is probably the most questions I've ever got.
Well, this is great. This is the first time the gentleman's been on the program.
Oh
or any
yeah,
program.
and
So-
you know, if anyone would know the most about the show, so there's a lot of different variety of questions.
Nice.
Let's see here. So, first one is from Red Card for you all, actually. After the season finale, how are you planning to spend this hiatus?
There's no hiatus for me. There's no break.
No, no breaks on that
We've been working on season 6 while we were working on season 5.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'll be going to work tomorrow is what'll be happening.
Well, if you're working on season 6 while working on season 5, that means the hiatus might not be as long, but we don't know because that's up to Hasbro.
Honestly, you know what the crazy thing is?
You don't know.
I don't know when they're planning on airing it. I know when the episodes will be done.
Yeah,
but I don't know when Hasbro's going to roll them out. And crazily enough, we often find out when you guys do. Like I'll see on Equestria Daily or Horse News or something. Like, wait, this is the release date. We'll be like, oh, okay, cool. Because we don't need to know. We don't need to know.
You just keep making awesome content. I have this sneaky thing now. I know what Hasbro's doing.
Okay.
They're going to have you guys complete season 6, right? So they can take all of you and work on the movie.
You'd be wrong.
Darn. Okay.
The movie has its own crew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Probably the Equestria Girls crew, but you never know.
Oh,
I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about that because I was just about to ask a bad question.
Don't get anybody in trouble.
Don't get anybody in trouble.
That's why I'm holding back.
That's why he's my moderator.
I'm biting my tongue.
Bite it harder.
So this one is from Caradwin.
Okay.
You could just yell downstairs.
Yeah, why doesn't he just come walk down into the living room?
I had to bump his up because this question I even want to know myself. Question for you, Jim. You mentioned from Caradwin. You mentioned other alternate timelines that are considered but not chosen. What were they?
Well, I don't know that we really explored much. We knew that in that montage sequence, we sort of had a bit of free reign of who we were going to put in there. Like, we knew that we wanted to cover Discord and Tyrek and whatnot. But like Flim and Flam, I seem to remember Josh had that in there, but it was all kind of loose. We mainly wanted to just stick with really big bad villains as opposed to some of the smaller ones, just because we were kind of limited in our time. But it would have been fun to do like a Trixie one or a Lightning Dust one, or something maybe a little bit unexpected, but again, time constraints and whatnot.
Now that's one character we haven't seen back yet.
Yeah, I'd love to see her come back.
Lightning Dust.
Yeah, I've always been pushing for an all bad guys episode, but I think that's a hard sell.
Yeah,
a hard sell. I want to do like a.
This was kind of an all bad guys episode, though. You did
a little bit, but I want to do like a Legion of Doom support group.
There you go.
Yes.
The bad guys. Yeah, but we'll see.
By the way, as I go full fangasm crazy, I love the Sombra bit so much. The whole war thing really was beyond, like, a lot of people completely agree it was dark. Like,
Yeah, I'm surprised we got away with as much as we did.
Equestrian
But
Civil War.
yeah,
not a Civil War, that was a World War.
yeah, Jason and I really wanted to see how far we could kick stuff, and it went farther than we expected. I mean, obviously, it would have always been nice to go further still, but
Yeah.
you know, demographic and whatnot. It's who it is for who it is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people tear it apart on like little bits and pieces, and I did
No
see
tearing it
the
apart.
World War II like posters, like was the "We Can Do
Yeah.
It." And so
Yeah,
the girl
We
like
Can Do It poster was in there. I like that.
Yeah, there's
Cool.
a sort of a takeoff of a propaganda poster of Sombra on that same wall too, and
Yeah.
that's all Rebecca and Phil Caesar, our background designer, and man, we have such a good crew that it makes my job so much easier. They just keep bringing amazing stuff, and you're like, yeah, let's do that.
Sweet.
I'm so glad I got away with so much. That was a solid finale. Wow,
Thank you.
the whole season. Freaking
Everyone worked
solid.
really, really hard this season, and I'm
Yes.
glad that, for the most part, people really enjoyed what we did.
Yes. So this one is from Flare Cobra for you, Jim. If you were allowed to explore any of the alternate universes from the season finale, which would you like to see developed more?
Well, maybe the Sombra one, just because I could maybe get in doing some more voice stuff. and
Yes.
make extra money.
All
but-
sorts of yes.
There you go.
I don't know. I think the cool thing about each one of those alternate timelines is they're ripe for exploration.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
single one of them, because people are saying like, how did someone was asking me on Twitter, how does Luna exist in the timeline with Discord if there was no main six to use the elements of harmony? Well, there's got to be a story there. In my interpretation, maybe Celestia was so desperate to defeat Nightmare Moon, she had to free Discord herself.
Yeah.
And then that all backfired on her. I don't know.
There you go.
I think the fans are going to run with that and write
Oh
their
yeah.
own.
You
That's
guys,
where
you
fanfics come
guys
in.
just force fed us like 5 different themes for fan fictions. Thank you.
Of course.
Jeez, I love it.
Now all the Fallout Equestria people are just
Oh yeah. the
screaming
Fallout
over
Equestria are going
Sombra's one.
Nuts. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I love
everyone was just
It
screaming.
worked out.
Oh, it's...
The timing worked out well with the release of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It sure
Happy
did.
accident, but
Well, so was a happy accident of the Bob Ross Discord.
yeah, that and the 5th anniversary of the
I was just
show
gonna say
Yeah.
with the Cute Dog Crusaders.
that
wasn't
was
planned.
solid.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like you guys planned all this crap.
Yeah, if we did, we'd be super mad geniuses, but it didn't work that way. It's just all the
crazy.
stars aligned, so to speak.
Yeah. Because the Bob Ross Discord thing was just too perfect. You know, with the whole resurgence of the Bob Ross on YouTube and everything.
I love Bob Ross. I remember
Bob Ross. He was great. I used to watch him as a
I
kid.
went to Sabrina's house and we just sat around watching old Bob Ross and just hanging out and having a very relaxed New Year's.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
A happy little tree right there. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. Trying to recollect myself. Oh man, these questions. There's so many. Sorry. I'm just doing a double check read to make sure I'm picking the right ones. So this one's from Celestia fans. Seeing the worldwide fandom creativity, what did you learn from it?
That there's a lot of really kind and nice people in the world. There's so many horrible things going on in the world right now. It's nice to know that there's still a lot of people who care about each other and that take the message of the show to heart. And it's easy to forget that some days, but I'm always reminded when I go online, like there's bad stuff just like anything, but there's a lot of good stuff, and it makes me happy to be a part of it in even the small way that I am.
Awesome. From Toon Geek, Toon Geek 45 for you, Jim. What do you like to do when you're not making a great cartoon?
Well, I hang out with my girlfriend. I take my dog for walks. Do a lot of reading and watching movies. Hanging out with friends. I'm just a dude. I'm like everyone else.
Yep.
Hang out, have fun. I'm a very, very, very casual video game player. Read a lot of comic books. Nothing too crazy.
I have to ask you two questions then. One
Sure.
is, what movies are your faves that you like to watch?
Oh man, it's so hard to distill down anything to a single favorite. I'm really looking forward to the new Coen Brothers movie coming out next year.
Oh yes.
My girlfriend and I just went and saw Creed this weekend. Which
I got to see that.
It's beat for beat exactly the movie you think it is, but it's so well done.
Okay.
It was. You know exactly everything that's going to happen, but it's still great.
It's got to be better than Rocky Balboa.
And Sylvester Stallone is fantastic.
Okay.
Like he seems very natural. I don't know. I really liked it, and I'm not even a huge boxing movie fan.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
Got to see that.
What about video games? You said video games. What are you currently playing?
Nothing.
Nothing at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment I'm not playing anything. The last game I played was Arkham Knight, and I got stuck, and then put it aside for a bit, and then got busy and never went back to it. So.
Oh, I hear this Fallout game is pretty good.
Yeah, I hear too. I had.
Don't, Jim. Don't. Just
I know.
don't.
I had a week off.
Don't.
Just to recoup a little bit, and I thought that was the week that Fallout 4 came out, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll get that.
No.
But then I realized, as much as I would love to play that game, I just don't have the time to dedicate to a game like that.
No, that game is a time sink.
Yeah, and I need
proportions.
to eat.
I put in hundreds so far.
And
Crazy.
Let's see here. So this one's from AGN Rules for you, Jim. Glad you're going to Midwest Brony Fest. What plans do you have for your time in Kansas City, home of the World Champion Royales?
Well, I don't care about sports, so sorry about that.
Probably barbecue.
I'm looking forward to the barbecue. I was talking with Andrea, and she said she had a wonderful time there. So the main thing with all these cons, aside from getting to meet fans from around the world, which is always wonderful, is getting to go to cities that maybe I wouldn't normally have an opportunity to go to.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know that I would have had any reason to go to Kansas City before, but I'm really looking forward to going and seeing what's there. So that's really cool. And the fact that I was able to swing it with work is pretty great. I'm going to be doing a couple cons this year, I think.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Great to see you again.
Looking forward to that. So
I'd
the
love
other
to
ones I'm sure will be announced shortly.
I would love to do Midwest Brony Fest myself.
Yeah.
I would, because certain
Kelly
Spitfires are
Metzger's
coming over.
Yeah, Kelly Metzger is going to be there. Sheridan's going to be there. So you're going to have double Kellys in the ballpark.
Double Kelly's in the building.
Yep.
And Neely's going to be there.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're going to have Spitfires in both ends.
Oh, there you go.
I would love to go. But there you go.
Wow. So this one is from Snowflake.
Snowflake!
Question is to you, Jim. Yo, dude, how much do you work with the IDW crew, if at all?
Not at all. We just don't have time for that. I mean, I've known Katie Cook since before she was working on Pony, and I would consider Andy a friend. But aside from just some casual conversations with them, it's not like we get scripts and give notes or look at pages or anything in advance. That's all managed through Hasbro Studios in LA, and the people in charge of the show take care of that. So
that's good.
Pardon me, sorry.
No, it's good. This one's from Dirty Ken for you, Jim. What is your favorite episode of Ed, and Eddy?
Oh, there you go. That's a good question.
Man. I was just thinking about this the other day, and I don't know if it's my favorite, but I remember when we were working on it. Woody did this episode. I don't remember the name of it, but it was the one where they were videotaping themselves.
Oh yeah.
And Woody had to set it all up, all this stuff through the point of view of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when he presented the board to us, we just thought, like, this is crazy. This isn't going to work. It's just so weird and complicated. And then when it was all done, it was one of the most impressive things I have ever seen come together. Like, he really knocked it out of the park in terms of what he put into that episode. And I think it's called Star is Ed, maybe.
Oh, it is. Star is Ed.
It was pretty cool episode.
Speaking of Woody, where the heck is that boy?
He is working on All Hail King Julian.
Oh, wow.
Oh, That one didn't win an Oscar too.
It won an Emmy recently for best animated series. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
That's
you'll see his
good.
name.
There we go. We tracked him down. More power to you, Woody.
This one is from Nora Mermaid. Question to you, Jim. Is there any mythical creatures yet that haven't been on the show that you want to see in the future?
Oh, sure. I mean, there's always cool stuff. There's a whole world of awesome stuff out there, and I don't necessarily know if I want to say any, because what if we end up getting to use them? So,
release the Kraken!
Yeah, I would love to see. I've always wanted to use like Sleipnir and like some of the Norse.
You better do some Norse stuff.
Yeah, I would really love.
I'm from that era. I love that Norse stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty metal, and I love that kind of stuff. So
yes, metal.
So this one is from Soggy Milk. Question for you, Jem. Who came up with the name Canker Sisters?
That's all Danny. Danny came up with all the names. As far as I know, I think they were sort of loosely based on some girls that he knew growing up.
Huh. I have to, because I don't know the backstory to that. What is that?
What?
Like that's all I was wondering about that question, because I'm like, what's Canker Sisters? What is that about?
In Ed, and Eddy, there were these 3 girls who lived in the trailer park next to the subdivision that the Eds lived in, and they were sort of annoyingly in love with the Eds.
Oh.
They were very forward. So
as much of a sin as it is, I haven't really seen the show yet.
That's all right. It's not for everybody.
Nope.
Well, it's not that I won't see. It's just I never had the chance to. But I've been hearing a lot of good things from a lot of different people, so eventually I will.
Cool.
Soggy always brings this one up, and I love Bram because it just annoys Dusty. A question for you, Jem. Who is your favorite background pony, excluding Applejack?
Applejack is not a background pony. She's the best pony.
There you go.
Background pony that I like. I don't know. There's a lot of them that I like, and I like asking the layout department to sort of put them in weird spots sometimes. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know that I have a favorite. I feel like they're sort of like they're like spices. You know, you throw them in the mix at the right point just to give that scene a little bit of extra flavor, but you don't want to go too heavy with them, otherwise it ruins the rest of the sauce. So, yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer for that.
Yeah, that's a toughie.
That could be the one you voiced, Grape.
Wait, what?
He voiced Golden Grape.
No.
Oh, really?
Good.
Let's see. Yeah. This one's from Dipcord for you, Jem. How many shows have you directed so far?
Like actual episodes of Pony, or like series shows?
I'm guessing series is what they're asking.
This is my first directing gig, was My Little Pony, yeah.
And in episodes, how many have you done so far?
Oh, man. Well...
Getting up there.
Yeah. So... I don't know.
All of season 5. That's 26.
Well, I mean, my name's on all of season 5, but usually how it works is Jason and I alternate.
Oh, okay.
Which does one episodes, but we're involved in each other's episodes, so it's really sort of hard to quantify. Like, I'll be primary director on an episode, but, you know, Jason still sees it and will weigh in, and vice versa. So, you know, you could say 52 that you've seen, and but you know,
we haven't seen them all yet.
It could only be 26 if you want to get down to like where I did the majority of the work on them. Or, you know, it's a hard thing to quantify.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody's fingers and everybody's pie.
Yeah. Exactly. We're a group. That's important to me and Jason. That it's a real team effort.
Sweet. So this is from Dad Tax Pony. For you, Jim, if you weren't in animation, what do you think you'd be doing?
At this point, probably living under a bridge. I don't know if I can do anything.
You'd own a comic shop.
That seems like an opportunity to lose a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah.
I before I got into animation, I was in university for a couple years. I was majoring in biology with an eye on going into genetics. But I decided that wasn't really for me. So maybe I would have stayed in it. I don't know. Would have been a lot more boring, I think.
A lot, yeah.
So this was from Spike Firemain for you, Jim. Which scene would you like him to carve for Troubleshoes?
Oh, man. I don't know. I like it when he picks because I feel like it's more personal.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, and then that it means something to him, and then I feel like I connect with it a little bit more because it's coming even more from the heart.
Yes.
So
that's good. So this is from John. Jim, what is your favorite episode? It's a toughie.
It's like having that's a Sophie's choice right there. There's some stuff coming up in season 6 that I'm pretty excited about. But of the stuff that we've shown you guys, I'm pretty happy with how to do Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep came together. I think because a lot of that was, at least the initial stages of it, were from mine, Jason's pitch for that. So I think that's something that I think I need to work on too, is learning how to forgive myself for things and not be so hard on myself. So I think there's a bit of a personal attachment with that one. But I don't know. I'm really proud of some of the episodes where we had revisionist storyboard artists move up to become full storyboard artists, like Roxy Bakelick on Scaremaster. She was a revisionist and moved up for that, and Ainsley King on Amending Fences. Like seeing these people who sort of started in at entry level positions grow to the point where they're heading up their own episodes and really doing a fantastic job is really, I don't know, you have this weird like dad pride for some of it. So
awesome.
Yeah. It's hard to pick because people, like every single person, I've said this on Twitter before, every single person works so bloody hard on this show and cares so much from even our production people who don't necessarily get to do the creative stuff. They care just as much as the artists,
Cool.
I've even seen like my roommate Sam working on Teen Titans Go. He has a lot of love for that show, and I've watched so many episodes with him, and it's like now I'm addicted to that show. But,
yeah, I mean we've all worked on shows that we don't care about as much, and it's always rewarding.
Did you guys see where the Teen Titans Go characters watched the original Teen Titans and thought it was awesome?
Yes,
no,
that was so funny. Oh my goodness!
They meted it where the new Teen Titans Go watched the old Teen Titans. Wow, this is great! And the creator ended it there, and Beast Boy goes, "You can't end it there. Why did you end it there? I gotta see the rest of it."
That show is like the people that hate towards it because it's like it's nothing like the original. Well, the creators of that show are just insane on like, oh, okay, we're gonna listen to everything that people say and we're gonna make fun of them for it. And like, well, I seen one episode. It was they had to be more serious. They stopped being so like cartoony or whatever. So they'd put on their serious face. Next, to know, the animation style changes entirely into like muscular men sort of thing, right? And I had a hoot watching it. I suggest people to watch it. I know a lot of people hate it, but watch it.
Next.
This one's also from Dipcord for all. What is your favorite protagonist and antagonist?
In the show or in life?
Let's put it in life. That gives more of a variety to it.
Like in other media, you mean?
Yeah, pony included or excluded, it's up to you.
Wow.
Well, I don't know.
So many different genres.
Yeah, I'm going to say for antagonist, maybe Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, because you never really get any kind of resolution to that character, and he's just sort of a force of nature and goes out into the world and you don't really know what happens to him. Protagonist. I love Indiana Jones so much.
Yes, I was gonna say that's my choice right
Yeah,
there.
as far as I'm concerned, Raiders is a near perfect movie. So I'll go with that.
Nice. For me, I think my antagonist is Thulsa Doom. Because James Earl Jones carried that movie on his shoulders.
And he's got awesome straight hair.
Awesome straight hair. But it's like, yeah, he carried
Can turn
that
into
movie.
a snake.
Yeah, turn into a snake. And, he can shoot live snakes and say seek and they'll hit whatever he shoots at. He can shoot at the moon and turn around and hit the girl. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's crazy. Absolutely. Protagonist, so many awesome ones out there. Ugh. But you know what? One I grew up with, which was Thundar from Thundar the Barbarian.
Jack Kirby creation.
Yeah. I think Thundar, because it didn't matter. It was always do the right thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't very smart, and he knew that. And he was very, very animate about that.
So both of your choices are from Barbarian shows. I wonder
know.
what that says about you.
What do you think?
For me, you already know my favorite villain is, and Indiana Jones growing up with. It was. I also love
Ernest P. Worrell.
Wait, as my favorite villain?
No, my favorite hero, Ernest, from the Ernest movies.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I haven't watched the
forever.
Halloween special. Scared the hell out of me as a child. Scared the heck out of me. Oh my goodness! I can't even watch that again. I know that's going to suppress some terrible nightmares.
Here.
Yeah, Sombra's my favorite, and Indiana Jones is my other, definitely. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, this is. I like this one. From Silver Slinger for you, Jim.
Slinger's
What-
here. Sweet.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Question is, what are the do's and don'ts of putting a war scene, like on the one in season 5 finale, into a children's cartoon?
No blood.
That
Number one.
we have to be pretty careful with the level of violence.
Yes.
Like we can't have like knockdown, drag out fights like maybe you would expect from a more mature content show. So there's a lot of no punching in the face and no seemingly dead characters.
Yes.
So a lot of it is just sort of finding that nice balance between how far you can push it and making sure it doesn't get too scary.
Yes. The stallion slap fight was kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
So, like,
it still
going
has
back-
to be a bit. It's still a bit silly, right?
Yeah, it's still a bit silly.
Some people complained that was maybe a little too silly, but
No,
that's,
it was the perfect.
That's the level of.
That's how
violence.
horses fight. Have you ever seen horses fight people?
Yeah, they kick the
They
crap
kick
out
the
of each
crud
other.
out of each other with their front hooves. That's
It's
what they do.
brutal.
Go look up some YouTube videos.
Yeah, I mean, like, we
Learn
can't
something.
really do
No.
kung fu fighting and stuff. Like, it would just be weird too.
That's what we need. We need a Jackie Chan pony.
Though I think that does happen in the season 2 premiere where Rarity does like a
she
full
does a
out
little
like kung fu kick
fu
right
kick thing.
into
Yeah.
their faces.
Well, if you look closer, she probably doesn't kick anyone in the face directly.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of those
Yeah.
things are implied
Off
contact.
screen. Yes.
Yeah.
Implied.
Like you
off
see
screen.
like the white noise explosion or
Yeah.
something happens like that. Let's see here. Oh goodness, I'm just so out of it. What is going on? From RBZ for you, Jim. Where did you and the writers get the inspiration for the season 5 finale?
I think a lot of that came from Megan and Josh initially. You know, Jason and I, unfortunately, because we're in Vancouver, aren't always able to be involved in like the story pitch sessions. So the ones we pitched for season 5, we just wrote those up in an email and sent them down. But that's probably a better question for Josh and Megan.
I think
they
I
just-
saw Josh had twittered that it was X-Men Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Josh
was
and I
a
have
major-
very similar
Yeah.
interests when it comes to that kind of stuff. So when he sent it up, we were like, "Oh yeah, this will be cool." So we were on board from the initial premise of it, but we weren't involved in the generating of that idea initially.
Oh, hey guys, I've got Tech Rat. Tech Rat, you're back? Oh really? What? You got who? Who did you get? Oh, dude, we got to cut to this right now. We got to cut this right now. We're going to be back in just a few minutes. EQI is now, TechRat is back, and you aren't going to believe it. Be right back.
Thanks, Dusty. We have something very special for tonight's EQI News Brief. We've been able to arrange an exclusive interview with one of the most prominent fiends this side of Angel Bunny. Live via codec from an ice trench in the Crystal Empire, that master conversationalist himself, King Sombra. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Crystal Heart.
There's that charming wit you're so famous for, though not quite as famous as some of Equestria's other villains. Why do you think you are not as well remembered?
Small bit pot.
True, it's hard to make an impression when you don't talk much. Our viewers may be surprised then to find out that you're actually quite well educated. You even went to college. What was your major?
Graphic art.
An interesting choice for a future evil dictator. However, I'm guessing that education didn't help much when you conquered the Crystal Empire the first time. So tell me, what was it about the Crystal Ponies that made them so easy for you to enslave them?
They're not smart.
Well, that's rather rude, don't you think? Maybe I should change the subject. I can see that your crown is especially stylish this evening. Where did you buy it?
At Walmart.
I'm starting to notice a certain pattern to your answers there, Sombra.
Don't you start.
Okay, I'm sorry. Guess I should pull out the softball questions then. Okay, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Fudge pop. Tart.
What is your preferred method for transporting your groceries around the supermarket?
Shopping cart.
What do you do when you're having computer problems?
I restart.
What do you hate most about assembling IKEA furniture?
Missing part.
What is your favorite Kevin James movie about a mall security guard?
First Paul Bot.
Complete this poem. Beans, beans, good for your heart. Beans, beans, they...
Containing an abundance of soluble fiber, which can lower cholesterol and triglyceride levels. They are also low in fat, high in protein, and can promote regularity by preventing constipation. Make you fart.
There's the answer I was looking for. Well, we're about out of time. Thank you, Sombra, for an extremely bizarre and awkward interview. Back to you, Dusty.
Crystal.
Yes, I get it! You like crystal hearts! Oh my gosh, would you just drop it already? Get a hobby or something!
And amazing that he got Sombra out of an ice-cold canyon somewhere in the Crystal Empire to actually have this interview. Oh my god. And that voice.
Voice is
That
so
voice.
deep and
Oh my
brooding.
God.
Oh my goodness.
I wonder who did that voice. Who knows? But there you go. Onward and upward. More questions for the man. What's going on?
Okay.
So much is going on. Oh my dear sweet Celestia. So this one's from oh goodness, how did I say this name? Zlurb. I think I said right. I don't know if the S is silent.
Nice.
For you, Jim, what art books would you recommend?
There you go.
Okay. These are some good ones that I love. There's a book of all of Maurice Noble's background paintings from the old Looney Tunes book. That's pretty
Nice.
amazing. I love a comic book artist named Darwin Cooke, Daryn Cooke. He used to work as a storyboard artist on Batman Beyond, and He wrote the DC Final or the New Frontier comic that they turned into one of those animated movies. Cool. Super cool guy. Did a bunch of film noir books based on the Parker novels that are fantastic. Mm-hmm. So they have a book of a bunch of his art that's really, really good. Chuck Amuck, if you can get that. It's not really so much an art book as there's art in it, but it's really about Chuck Jones and written by him. It's pretty amazing. There's so many good things out there. It really depends on what you're looking for. So if you want to learn art, that's a different story altogether.
Yeah, there's a billion books out there for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I say just experiment. Figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
I know what you like. Like, that's the thing, is just because I like it doesn't mean you're going to.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
There you go. And there's many different kinds of art out there.
Yeah,
I actually have like 30 of the How to Draw Manga series somewhere in a box,
and
which were really, really interesting and well done books. Mm-hmm. You know, just because there's like How to Draw Manga, they teach you everything about drawing and inking and everything.
I'm honestly not a big fan of how to draw books because my feeling, and this is my own opinion, is oftentimes it teaches you how to draw like the guy or girl who wrote the book. And that isn't necessarily how you draw. I remember as a kid having those how to draw the Super Friends, you know, like Superman is 6.5 heads tall. Yeah. And then you draw these sort of structure lines, and then somehow you manage to fill in all the musculature and have this nice Kurt Swan looking drawing. And I don't draw like that. I don't draw things that are with like measurements of Applejack is 3.5 heads or whatever. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. So, you know, works for some people, doesn't work for me.
That actually happened to me because I drew like Stan Sakai for years.
Yeah.
Because I was a big Stan Sakai fan, and I drew like him for years. And then all of a sudden, my style morphed into what I liked to draw or liked to do. Mm-hmm. And now I've got my own style. Or had my own style, but I still draw every now and then. But it took doing it to develop into a style. But yeah, the moral of the story is keep drawing.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll turn into what you like to do.
Look at all the stuff that you like, and we're all sort of filtering through our own influences. Like, I love. One of my art heroes is Mike Mignola. Yes. I don't draw anything like the man, but I wish I did. Like, his stuff is so atmospheric and moody and inky. I could never do that in a million years, but it still influences me. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yep. We're getting down to it. Screwy, keep asking.
Yep, Burrs. This is from Callow for you, Jim. Is there any specific character in MLP you would really like to bring back in the future?
Well, I always love bringing back Discord. I love any opportunity I can get to get my hands on Discord and put him in a wacky costume or do some really weird joke with him. You know, there's always stuff that I'm doing where I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. So
it does.
Sometimes I'm sure there's a few that people don't like.
I don't think I've ever seen a Discord joke I hated.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. And we know for a fact that you'll be getting more because John Delancey Twittered about it.
Well, there you go.
So we know it's coming. I would really like to see more of Trixie, and it's just that she was like one of the first real antagonists, and she's been in the series all 5 seasons, and it's sort of like we need to know more about her. Why is she like that? Why is she egotistical? What happened in her past? Why is she like this?
Well, one of the great things about the show, in my opinion, is that it's becoming like The Simpsons in the sense that there's such a diverse and deep cast of characters that you can really go in and explore any single one of them and get a pretty decent story out of it. Mm-hmm. You know, whether it appeals to everyone or they like how we treat it, but I think the opportunity to mine those things is a real testament to what Lauren set up.
Yes. I'm not going to tell you my idea for Trixie because you might actually do it, so I don't want to ruin that. So there you go. Oh, Screwball.
Yo.
You know what time it is?
Oh, gee, I don't even know it's the time.
It's that time. It's the time when the guest gets to ask me and Screwball a question.
Okay. Let's see here. So, Dusty,
Yes.
I'm not capable of growing facial hair very well.
Yes.
Do you have any tips on what I could do to, like, maybe cultivate a better mustache or a beard or something, or is it luck of the draw?
Well, you see, I think you're going to have to. You already have the flannel shirt, so
Yeah.
I think what you're going to need to do is get some really thick Levi's, some logging boots, take a double-bladed axe out into the woods of Vancouver, and then float down the streams of Manitoba, jumping log to log, and singing the lumberjack song, and it might just sprout. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so I don't have time for that.
No, you don't have time for that. But I don't think it's going to happen.
And Screwy,
Yes.
what do you think is the best thing about being Canadian?
Best thing about being Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm not as much of a Timmy stan as you'd think, because I don't drink coffee.
See, those are all kind of standard things. Like
Yeah, those
syrup and hockey and all that stuff.
Hockey.
Yeah, like come on.
That is a tough question, actually. Let me think, because there's so much. Like, I could boast healthcare, but everyone has that now.
You personally.
Me personally. The people.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's the same everywhere else. I have a lot of American friends and that sort of thing, but I definitely see a different approach in people. Oh God, I'm trying to put as best words as I possibly can. Like, I might gripe and complain about my hometown because it's all these like oil rich people, right? But I and all the people that I've ever worked with, I've not once had a complaint towards someone or towards someone I've actually met, sort of thing, because I don't know. I guess Canadian people, as a stereotype goes, we're so kind and friendly that I can honestly say that there's a major percentage that is pretty much true. Like, of course, there's the occasional.
Well, there's jerk-offs everywhere.
Yeah,
there's
I was trying to think
jerks
of the best way, but
That's not a national thing.
No.
I mean, that's a universal thing.
also I might absolutely hate winter for its cold conditions, but I do love skiing a lot. So
there you go.
just running over to a mountain right then and there and going
There you
out
go.
skiing. Not much places really have that.
Yeah. Good answer.
That's true. Good answer. And with that, ladies and gents, we are at the end of the program. So I want to remind everybody one more time that we do have a t-shirt. And this is Sabrina Albaguede's design. Stay Brony, my friends. It's over at Redbubble and TeePublic. So you can, whichever one you love, you can go over there and pick it up. We also have a wonderful other by Trish Forrester. She's done a lot of designs for us. Those are there. We're going to be getting some new designs next season, next year. So be on the lookout for those. You can get this on anything. T-shirts, sweaties, whatever. So check it out over there at TeePublic and at Redbubble. Thank you very much for your support of the show. We also want to remind you about our sponsor, of course, Little's Toy Company. Little's Toy Company, when you need anything awesome, vinyls, Funkos, whatever, they give us a lot of the things that we give away to you. Thank you very much, Little's Toy Company. And big news coming out of there soon. I can't talk about yet, but big news coming out of Little's Toy Company really soon. Again, I want to thank, of course, Mr. Big Jim Miller for being here tonight
Thank you for having me, gentlemen. It's been. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
and helping
Yes.
cut through all that red tape. Because we've wanted to get this man on for years, people. I mean, the first season we did this show, I wanted him on, and we finally got him. And I
Well,
love it.
maybe it'll be easier to do it again at some point.
Yes, absolutely. As long as we didn't poke Hasbro in the eye with anything we said tonight. I don't think we did, but there you go. Screwy, of course, for everything he does.
Yeah.
Screwball, yes. And my lovely girlfriend right over there, Amy, who picked the name tonight. Amy, love you. Lance Bubala, who's upstairs right now, probably playing Fallout 4 while watching the show. And everybody busting their flanks over at Candlelight Hill Network, giving us a place to go to have the show. Everybody who's busting their butts up in Vancouver and everywhere else that works on My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. I say that every show because I mean it. Big Jim, please take it back to the studio and tell everybody that we love them.
You know we will.
Absolutely. And you out there in TV land who come every time we turn on that camera and make dang fools out of ourselves. Thank you very much for coming. Couple of things I want to bring up. Next guest. Very first interview for this person in the MLP universe. That is who?
No.
Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Think
Well, I know. Iris Quinn.
Ooh.
Iris Quinn, Principal Abacus Cinch.
Oh, yes.
From Friendship Games. Her very first interview will be with us in 2 weeks. So if you liked her character in the Friendship Games, which most everybody did for the evilness, come and talk to her, because it's the very first evil character we've had on the show. So we got a lot of things to talk about evil. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait, we have Sombra right here. What?
Yeah,
Well, that's true. We do have Sombra.
He's like the most menacing villain in MLP history.
Well, kinda.
Don't get me started.
He's kind of like a smoke bomb going off.
Excuse me? I'm going to defend your
I'm
honor,
sorry, Jim. I gotta poke him every
No,
time.
it's all right. Sombra is essentially a glorified fart.
There
So
Wow. No,
See, straight from the voice himself.
is attacking him.
The voice
Okay.
himself, yes. So yeah, and on top of that, later in the year, not much left of it, we're gonna do our Christmas special again. Yes, the Christmas special is gonna come up. We're gonna do a special charity for Second Harvest Food Bank, and I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff for you guys. So hopefully I can get some donations. I already got my very first donation from Silver Slinger himself. Sent me this wonderful Doctor Who's watch, which is going to be given away on Christmas Eve. So if you come out Christmas Eve and help us out with charity, you are going to be in an opportunity to get this watch and some other stuff I'm going to collect from some people.
that guy does nice work.
He does awesome work. Awesome work. So our very first one right here. So Christmas Eve, after I get home from work, I get off at 5. We'll probably start 6:30, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, and we'll be going until who knows. But we're going to have a Christmas Eve get-together shindig, so hopefully you guys will join us. And we'll be doing that. Everything is cool. 2 weeks. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. The rest of this, and we might even do New Year's Eve. Who knows? Remember last New Year's Eve, we actually played like that big black box of stuff back there? That was fun. Maybe we'll do it again. So hopefully we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for Abacus Cinch. And say goodnight, everybody.
Good
Good
night.
night, everybody.
See ya. And we're cleared.
Thanks, guys. That was fun.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we'll be back soon. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. Good night, sweetheart. Good night.